Our today's session is there on logistics. Okay, it's one of the vital component of supply chain management. So our session is there today on supply chain management. Okay, and supply chain management is having one of the most important component, which is called the logistics. And how supply chain management and logistics are connected together, we are going to see in the session today. So with this, we have a good quorum on board, so we start our session. This presentation may contain information materials drawn from various sources, including but not limited to online and offline publications, research studies and other publicly available resources. I, the presenter, acknowledges and expresses appreciation for the contribution of these sources. This presentation is intended for educational and informational purposes and is not intended to constitute legal, financial or other professional advices. You have a picture on your screen now. Just try to digest this picture. This one picture is more than sufficient to broadly differentiate supply chain management and logistics. The supplier, the transporter, the manufacturer, storage, again transport, then to the retail distribution. Something is moving physically. Before manufacturing, the raw material is moving physically. After manufacturing, finished good is moving physically. Correct? Till the time it reaches to the local storage, then the transport could be air transport, could be ship transport, shipping transport, correct? It goes to retail and to the customer's hand. Anyone can very easily say that there is a physical movement of goods. Goods may be in the raw material format or in the finished good format, but there is a physical movement. Correct? But there is something beyond this. And what is that actually? To make this whole thing happen, you have to have a plan. Plan at each stage. Overall integrated plan. The program of work. Then there is an on-the-spot improvisation in the program to meet the distribution channels. If one transport system is not working, you have to immediately depend on another transport system. So you are improvising every time. Suddenly manufacturers need more raw material. You have to improvise your plan. You have to divert some of the more raw material from different sources or different suppliers. And in addition to that, there is a huge number of data is generated in the logistics process. How much quantity supplier has shipped by road, by air, correct? What is the inventory level right now at manufacturing premises? What is the consumption pattern? What is the consumption pattern of manufacturer for next 3 months or at least for 1 month. How much inventory is available for raw material with the supplier? How much inventory of finished good is available with the manufacturer? How much product is in shipment, in transit, we say, correct? How much stock is available at the retail distributors? When our market is going to have, when the shelf will be going to become empty? When I have to push my product so that shelf do not become empty, my product remain on the shelf. I just gave you maybe 20 data so far, 15-20 data just like this. I did not tell you even that our fleet is distributing by 100 trucks. So 100 trucks monitoring, their speed monitoring, how are they delivering in time or not? How many suppliers are able to supply? Any limitation is there with supplier or not? Are we taking our annual shutdown of our plant? So where the production will be partially maintained, production level will drop to 50%. That is where you will understand and differentiate between logistics and supply chain. Supply chain will take care of these data, and not only data, they will do a data analysis. How the customer is feeling, what is the customer trend, consumption trend is changing, in which region it is changing. So there are zillions of data is being handled, being generated actually. But at the same time, those data are required to be analyzed. And that analysis, when it is done, automatically you get the flag for each stage of supply chain. And that flag indicates that should you continue the supply of raw material at the same speed, or you increase it, or you regulate your manufacturing, you should reduce your manufacturing capacity, or you should keep producing more. So that is a very basic difference between supply chain management and logistics, where the logistics is handling the physical movement of the goods, raw material, finished good. Supply chain management is planning the physical goods movement. It is analyzing, it is forecasting, it is doing a demand forecast, it is doing a pricing forecast, and it will keep improvising ultimately your logistic channels. So by this picture, you are able to differentiate very clearly what is logistics and what is supply chain management. A broader differentiation. What is logistics as per Oxford Dictionary? The organization of moving, transit, housing, warehouse, and supplying troops and equipments. It was something term used with related to military operations. Okay. Logistics is a part of supply chain management that deals with efficient part of supply chain management that deals with the efficient forward and reverse flow of goods, forward flow, reverse flow of goods, services, not only goods nowadays, when services, and related information from the point of origin to the point of consumption according to the needs of customer. Goods movement, services movement, data movement, and from point of origin to point of consumption. Raw material to customer. Logistic management is a component that holds the supply chain together. It's fact. because that physical movement component of supply chain management world is being handled by logistic management. Supply chain management is future of industry, believe me. Okay, I always say we are having almost maybe third session this is, or maybe fourth session. I'm not exactly remembering, but we are going to have a digital supply chain also, and we are going to study all these things. Correct? It is one of the very important phenomena in the industry. And it's a future growth. Actually, it's a future of management. Supply chain vis-a-vis logistics. Supply chain are responsible for overall sourcing, processing and delivering of goods to end customer, while logistics specifically focuses on moving and storing goods between different supply chain organizations. Movement of goods. Supply chain management is the coordination and management of supply chain of an organization. Logistic management is the process of integration and maintenance, flow and storage of goods in an organization. If you take the whole box start to end as a one supply chain, so wherever there is a physical movement is happening, storage of goods, giving it ready for manufacturing, correct? That is the logistic operations coming into the picture. But how much to be supplied? Who will tell that? That will be told by supply chain. But when supply chain declared, today you are going to supply 10 tons raw material and tomorrow you are going to supply 20 ton raw materials. Supply chain when did a forecast, supply forecast or the demand forecast, logistics will ensure that that physical goods movements happen as forecasted under the umbrella of supply chain management. Roles and responsibilities of logistic management we are going to see. By this time you are from that picture, it gives a better idea actually what we saw on the first sheet. Transportation, delivery, storage, packaging, cargo handling, distribution processing, information processing, and many systems that have been put in place to deliver products from the production location or factory to the consumer quickly and on time. Role of logistics. Overall process of managing how resources are acquired, stored and transported to their final destination. Logistic management involves identifying prospective distributors and suppliers and determining their effectiveness and accessibility. Whatever you are seeing right now, somebody is sitting and giving command, that is supply chain management. But on ground when the execution is happening, logistics. And we'll see further how the logistics helps out in this case. By the way, logistics is not manufacturing. Remember this point, that manufacturer should get the product in time. Once the product is manufactured by the manufacturing premises or the production house, that product should start moving to the distribution channels, to the distributors and retail counter, where the logistics is coming in picture. Don't consider that the manufacturing is also part of logistics. No, manufacturing is manufacturing. So from this slide it is very clear that all the handlings of raw material, cargoes, everything is in the jurisdiction of logistics. On the trigger of supply chain management, in the boundaries, in the program of work, in the planning provisions made by supply chain management. That's why logistic management is one of the critical and vital component of supply chain management, one of the branch of supply chain management. Logistics 7 hours. By the way, when they are 7 hours for logistics, by default they are 7 hours of supply chain management. So if sometime the question is asked, okay, what are the 7 hours or what are the hours for the supply chain management? They are the same thing for logistics and supply chain management because they are from one family. What is first R? Right product, right customer, right time, right place, right condition, right quantity, right cost. You manufacture the best products, there's no doubt in that. But during the transit, your product got damaged. Or when you sold your goods to the country where the shipment has to go through sea, and what packaging you made, that packaging was not seaworthy packaging. High humid environment, correct? In the sea. So because of that, the product got spoiled. You made a very good product, there's no doubt in that. It passed all quality checks when it was produced, when it was manufactured. But the problem happened, your packaging was not seaworthy. So your product got bad during transit shipment. Did you fulfill right condition? No. So the product was right, but you could not able to deliver product in right condition. So you've missed 1 hour. And when you missed 1 hour, you could not fulfill the objective of logistics management and in turn supply chain management. Rest all are self-explanatory, very clear and very conceptually, very simple. Time is the essence of contract, time is the essence of logistics. So this is what the R's are driving. Logistics cost, right cost. You know that the logistics cost across the world is around 7%, 8%. In India right now it is 11-12%, and government is putting a lot of efforts to reduce that cost to 7-8%. Because you know what? Logistic cost just add the value on the product. If this bottle is manufactured at 1 dirham, logistic cost is added on it. If it is 7%, you can understand how much it is. And if it is 11%, 12%, additional 5% cost. So that will be the landing cost in the hands of customer, along with profit margin and everything. So that's why the logistics should be available at right cost. So this is what the R means in logistics. The logistic cycle, okay, is a complete list of activities from procurement of goods or materials to their final delivery to customer. We saw that cycle, correct? Who has recently joined the presentation right now, okay? I will just run through, I'll come back on this slide, but for them just to, because the quorum has increased almost 30% or 20%, this is a diagram just for the who joined the session in last 5-10 minutes. Okay. So the logistics is a part of supply chain management. Logistic deals with physical movement of goods from the raw material to supplier to the manufacturing premises to the making the finished good movement for storage and finally to the retail customer. Supply chain management helps to perform logistics' job, point number 1. So supply chain management makes the plan, it improves the plan, it improves the plan, it handles all the data generated during logistic management. It could be any number of data, inventory data, sales number data, customer behavior data. It takes all the data, okay, it produces, it does a data analysis. Then afterwards it handles what? It handles the total logistic management in automation mode or intelligent way rather. So that was just a glimpse to the teams who joined recently. Okay, so we were here. The logistics cycle is a complete list of activities from procurement of goods or materials to their final delivery to the customer, correct? What are the main activities now where the logistics has to play an important role? Procurement. procurement of raw material, procurement of spare parts, procurement of consumables, because it's not always the raw material for manufacturing, it's other materials also to survive. Lube oil, diesel purchase, correct? Water, electricity. So, how many things are there? Transport and delivery of this goods movement, physical movement of the goods. Material on shelf is equal to money on shelf. If you keep money in bank, you get interest. But when you keep money or the product in the warehouse on the shelf, you don't get any money. So you are depreciating your money. So the product, whether it's a raw material or it's a finished good, it has a value, it has a cost. So it should keep moving. So with this, what are the elements of logistics? It's very clear to us now. Storage, warehousing, material handling, packaging and unitization. Packaging is also required. We are going to see when we are going to study the inventory and warehouse management. Now we are going to see that. We are going to see how the packaging is done, what is the concept of fulfillment center. We are going to see that. We are going to study that in coming sessions. Inventory, transport, information and control. So many things. So logistics have to address this. And when logistics does this job, in this process it generates the data, it generates the information. It checks what plan we have made by supply chain under the umbrella of supply chain management. Are we able to implement it correctly or not? Got the point? So this is how, the logistic cycle components are there for our easy understanding. Now, the logistics by area of operations, correct? So in the verticals, what we saw on the first slide, which I repeated some time back, there is a supply zone, there is a production zone, there is a distribution zone. This we know: supply input, production manufacturing, distribution output. And there is one more logistic zone which is called reverse logistics. So that is another area, distributed area for the logistic, which is called reverse logistics, that we are going to see in the coming slides. Okay. So, but these are the fields or the playgrounds, different playgrounds where logistics plays its role. Correct? So there is one playground called supply playground, another playground called production playground, distribution playground and reverse playground. Procurement logistics, supply logistics, procurement logistics. Sourcing of material needed to manufacture products. In other words, this part of supply chain focuses on purchasing raw materials, replacement parts, auxiliary supplies, operating supplies, and other items needed for manufacturing process to work. Procurement logistics. Now you will say, sir, what is this procurement and what is this procurement logistics? Is it they are the same thing? There will be a question coming to your mind. You are right. The procurement department, what you have in your company or in my company, they are one of the critical component of logistics to ensure that we get the raw material in time and other ancillaries in time. But procurement is not only like placement of order and the material will be sent by supplier, we'll see. No. When we add a word logistic to it, we are not interested only in placement of order. We want to give end-to-end result. I want raw material in time. I want diesel to be, diesel is not a raw material for you, but diesel is essential required to run your machine so you can produce. Spare parts, you don't need spare parts to as a raw material for your manufacturing products, but you need your machines to run regularly. You have to have a spare parts and spare parts and consumables. So the procurement logistics is not limited to raw material. It has all the required materials to be procured, to be tracked correctly, so that you are able to maintain proper inventory levels, so that your procurement logistics ensure that your production logistics does not go under disruption or shutdown. Production logistics. Flow of goods that includes the management of procured parts and materials, distribution inside a factory, production management, packaging and shipment to warehouse. See, if I remove the word logistics from production, you will say, sir, production what? Machine is there, we give raw material, machine produces the garments, machine produces the steel bars, matter ends. No, no, no. When I say production logistics means there's a concept in premises where the raw material will be stored. There are time and motion studies are done so that raw material does not travel more in the factory. It comes, machine eats immediately and produces the output. Then the raw material is stored, the finished goods are stored in the flow. You don't move the product to the back end another time. The concept here is very simple. Production is very simple phenomena you are producing. But how you manage the total logistic, even if it is the 5 kilometer radius, manufacturing premises are there. How you avoid the unnecessary to and fro transportation of finished good, raw materials, correct? Logically speaking, your loading bay should be where your warehouse is, so that directly the truck comes attached to warehouse and your product moves on, correct? But if your warehouse is here and loading bay is other end, for unnecessary you have to travel your products 5 kilometers within your own premises. What is your logistic plans? Correct? So that's why these are all the, and okay, sorry, specific to production logistics. Okay, specific production. Where you should have your inventory levels near to your, just next to your manufacturing house, your production house. The raw material come, it gets offloaded 5 kilometers away, factory manufacturing premises within the same campus at another end. Why you want to do unnecessary raw material movement? Getting my point? So that's why when the logistics word is added, I go back to the mother definition what we saw. When the logistic words is added, it clearly indicates that look, avoid, do a time and motion study, avoid unnecessary movement of goods. So that's the concept of logistics when it comes to procurement logistics, production logistics, sales logistics. Also called, now the sales division is coming here, correct? Also called distribution logistics. Sales logistics is in the downstream of production logistics or manufacturing logistics. Once the manufacturing is completed, you need to distribute your product. You have to store your finished good in warehouse. You may have to do a logistics to another country or in another state. So that is the process is happening where you are doing what? You are doing a management of processes which are involved in distribution of product from the output of your manufacturing premises to the hands of customer. Not retail, not distribution, hands of customer. So that is the concept of sales logistics. You know that sometimes this companies who gives a franchise, correct? Correct? So what they say, we are looking for a retail showroom in this XYZ area. And you approach them and said, look, I'm in ABC area. Can I have this? He said, sorry, thank you. We are looking for a sales logistics, or we're looking for a retailer in XYZ area, which is located maybe 50 kilometers away or even 10 kilometers away. You can say, no, I'm nearby, just 10 kilometers away. Still the manufacturer will say, no, I'm looking in XYZ area. And what is the meaning of this? I want to ensure that there is a gap in sales logistics in XYZ area because the nearest showroom is 8 kilometers away. I want to bring a showroom near to that XYZ area because my supply chain management has analyzed the data and it indicated that I'm losing some customer ground because of the deficiency in sales logistics. Customers are struggling to get my product. So this is how the sales logistics comes in picture. Recovery logistics or recycle logistics next. Is the flow that recovers and recycle products, containers and packaging that have fulfilled their role. Emphasis is being placed on this flow in recycled oriented societies. No, now there is no oriented societies. The 5R on my video channel, you will see that I have 2 videos right now, but I'm going to add 3 more videos on that. 5R, recycle, refuse, recycle, reuse, refurbish, rot. So the recycling is being emphasized. Sometimes you get product back. iPhone says, give me iPhone version 15, 14 and take iPhone 16, 17. Okay? What is this? Even in our engineering specifications, when we write that we need aluminum doors and windows, correct? So in our specification, we says, we want recycled aluminum percentage should be at least 30%. What is the meaning of that? Automatically, the industries are encouraging now recycling, reuse, refurbishment, so that you deplete the earth resources minimum as much as possible and to minimize. And I gave this example before also in our channel, okay? That, sorry, I'm on YouTube channel, so my word comes as a channel word. So in our forum, I have said this point that the aluminum production will continue till 2050. That is an estimate, by the way, forecast. Huh? Forecasts are all subject to change, but yes, there is a forecast. The way the consumption forecast is there for next 50 years time, 25 years time. And after that, they said that the new aluminum will not be required. So the demand and the requirement of aluminum will be sustained through what? Will be sustained through what is the aluminum already available, produced in different formats on earth. Your reviews are important. Please do that because that create a culture of making the things in the review patterns. So this is a point of logistics. Reverse logistics. Okay. Now, in logistics, that was from the field side view, playground area point of view. Logistics was there from the area classification wise, if I can in a simple engineering term. Now there are 3 types of logistics, we call it, and we know already this, that one is inbound logistics, that means from supplier to company, and second is from company to customer, outbound logistics. Correct? And the meaning of this is, in one case, it is raw material movement, which is inbound logistics. You can simply understand, and outbound logistics is a logistic of finished goods. So for time being, this is good enough to understand. Then reverse logistics. Reverse logistics is again the same thing. Either you collect the product from your customer, the product which has lived a life, or you are giving him new product and you are buying the old product. So these are the concept of reverse logistic, what we saw just in the area classification in the previous slides, correct? So the inbound logistics is the movement of goods brought into the company. The inbound logistic is to refer each stage of process involving in the transfer of supplies and material to a business ahead of being processed and sent to the customer. And the most important point is it's a raw material or ancillaries, spare parts, anything that involves to manufacture the goods is your inbound logistics. Outbound logistics. See, it's always good to be familiar with the terminologies, because when you are all in management positions and once you are discussing in the meetings and all, these terminology should not become a constraint for you to discuss, to deliberate and understand what others are telling. So keep this terminology always in mind. Quick reference somewhere, note down in a small diary also. You can keep a pocket diary with you for the general terminology. And nowadays in mobile, there's no need. Just open a speaker on the Google and you can find out the terms, okay? So outbound logistics, customer places an order. You know that, I already explained what is it. Order is confirmed and products picked in the warehouse. Order is packed at warehouse. Picked at warehouse, packed at warehouse. Pick and pack. Trucks pick up daily order and drive to distribution centers. Deliver driver pickups order at distribution center and the package is delivered to customers. That is the outbound logistics. Clear? This outbound logistics steps which I told you especially belongs to e-commerce platform kind of thing. Reverse logistics. When consumer return to a store to buy the latest model, Apple offers consumer discount on a new product if they return their old products. So this is what happens. Bring your old products, bring your old things and take the new one. This is an encouragement for recycling, refurbishment. It's very good to understand always the processes, procedure, but always remember one point. A good leader always understands the challenges in the field also. Because once you know the challenges in the field, then only you will come to know about the solutions on it, correct? So what are the major challenges are there in the logistics? Labor and shipping shortages, rising freight cost, fluctuating freight cost and rising freight cost. Managing the complex systems, we saw that how much complexity is there, multi-party involvement is there. And when we studied the multi-party logistics in our previous session, at that time we realized this point that it is a complex activity. Handling customer expectations, customer demands are fluctuating. Customer expectations are also fluctuating. Flexibility and scalability. If I give all the examples for this, is a very simple examples are there. Demand fluctuations. Suddenly customer have stopped using your product. The product need to reach, the winter clothing need to reach in September, by end of September in the US stores. Your products are not reaching by September, end of September, it is reaching by 10th of October. You lost the market for 10 days. So these are the challenges which logistics definitely is facing. Port choking, access to expertise and experience. Yes, that's why I said it is going to be an upcoming branch where it is not only a logistics, it's a techno logistics, it's an AI logistics, it's a techno supply chain, AI supply chain, correct? That's why remember in 6-party logistics when we saw in the previous presentation, session, 1 or 2 sessions before, we saw the companies like IBM, Accenture, they are also coming into the picture now because it's going to be a mammoth of mechanization, artificial intelligence intervention, robotics, okay, then blockchain for contracting, automated contracting systems, reliability of automated contracting systems. Correct? So that's why these are the challenges which are coming up, and there will be solutions to them, but the challenges exist. Improved customer satisfaction, your customer demands, satisfaction levels are also increasing. Your desire of customers is also changing with respect to time. So these are the challenges which are being faced. Just quickly, we'll finish in 2 slides the circuit so that we can open for discussion. This is last mile delivery, and why I'm emphasizing in this last mile delivery means the delivery in the hands of customer. The first is when you see the warehouse, the product is directly going from the local warehouse to the customer, pick and pack, and sometimes the material is going, the product is going to the local store, whether customer is walking or the store is delivering at home to thing. This last mile delivery is very important, okay? And this last mile delivery is one of the critical component in logistics, because it looks very simple on this diagram right now, but city congestions, okay, product get exit for delivery. Remember many of the courier agencies, when you see that that's out for delivery, it reaches to you, it out for delivery since 8 o'clock from their distribution centers. It reaches to evening 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Correct? They have a big load, I'm not denying, but respective local distribution loads, traffic jams, multi-party droppings. So the last mile deliveries, and you cannot run 50 trucks in a day, because there should be again 1 hour is the right cost. So you cannot increase the cost of distribution in your last mile delivery also. So you optimize your delivery. You cannot send the empty truck for one delivery 10 kilometer or 25 kilometer or 50 kilometer away. So the last mile deliveries, drones and all will be replacing the last mile delivery concept to the greater extent, so that the last mile delivery becomes more cheaper, and it should satisfy the time and motion study, because time and motion study is even though it is done in the local market, but it is greatly challenged in last mile deliveries, because it consumes more time, it consumes more motions. Just to wrap up our session here, we studied right now, we saw the last mile delivery, correct? But in addition to last mile delivery, there is a first mile delivery and there is a middle mile delivery also. So the first mile delivery is nothing but from manufacturing premises to the distribution center, correct? And from distribution center, when it also second mile delivery is coming to what? It is going to the distribution center in another country by flight, by ship. So the country of origin is first mile delivery. The country who has purchased the product, or the state which has purchased the product, is a middle mile deliveries. It comes to the warehouse. It could be from India to Japan, it could be India to China, it could be from India to USA, or vice versa, both way, correct? So one country who is supplying is a first mile delivery, second country who is receiving and whatever the logistics involved there in that country is a middle mile, and the last mile is the local distribution center, and from there to the customer. So that is the last mile delivery. So the first mile, middle mile, last mile delivery is also being talked in our sessions. So with this we conclude our session, and because you will get a lot of videos related to the management sessions, so that will be great helpful. You can put your questions in chat box also, or no problems. Yeah, Hussain, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Hussain. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, good. How about you?
Great, Hussain. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, can you give more example of reverse logistic other than exchanging the product?
See, the reverse logistics is actually across the world it is happening. If I give you a very simple example, your scrap vendor in each city, they are the critical component of reverse logistics. The scrap vendors.
Okay.
the fellow who used to come to your house in the childhood to collect the raw material, metal, paper, they are the bona fide member of reverse logistics.
Okay.
What example you need, my dear, more than that to understand the subject, correct?
Yeah. Got it.
Correct?
I just think, I could just think about it like just exchanging the product only.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
got
now,
it.
yes, and the second thing is, for example, if you are an aluminium door and frame manufacturer, correct? So as per international law, my Anil, sorry Hussein, Anil, my YouTube channel link is there in the chat box only. You can just see up. Are you able to see that or no? Okay, fine. So, for example, I'll put it that, Anil, don't worry. So, the point here is that if you are an aluminium bracket manufacturer, you will try to take those scrap vendor and you will buy the aluminium scrap from them, because as per international standard, if you have to supply to the government agency, you should have 30% recycled aluminium you should use.
Okay.
So what you will do, where you will go? You will go to the scrap vendor of the aluminium and tell, I want to buy scrap, aluminium scrap, give it to me. So this is what that is what the reverse logistics is there.
Got it. So moment of the scrap goods, that is a reverse
logistics. Reuse a 5R.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, dear. Thank you. Let me put it here for Anil, because Chanakya said that the first is from Anisa. Last week topic from the challenges is that huge e-commerce growth, patchwork logistics. What is that, Anisa? What would you like to say? What is that? Raja, I will take your question. Just do 1 minute. Anisa, can you just explain what is your question exactly? And Chanakya is telling, I believe reverse logistics happened in inbound also, as we reject the RM due to not meeting the requirement. Chanakya, I would like to hear from you guys. It's okay for you to say that, because I believe reverse logistics happen in inbound also. The most important point is the reverse logistics is most useful in manufacturing process. So the reverse logistics is a vital consuming point. What happens? Manufacturing is in between. So you supply the fresh aluminium, okay, but the balance recycled aluminium, if you want, the scrap you want, from you, where you will get? You will get from the market consumption, correct? So that will be, you will bring from the market that thing to your manufacturing premises, correct? So inbound, outbound. So for manufacturing, there are two fellows who are contributing. One is inbound, giving the fresh raw material. Second is the reverse logistics also, which is also bringing the raw material to the manufacturing premises. So for manufacturing, use both. Got my point? Okay, Anisa wants that. Anisa, I want to hear you. Please speak up, guys. Please speak up. We are all in management stream. We must speak up. Last week topic from that challenges is a huge e-commerce growth. By the way, when huge e-commerce growth is happening, correct? So for huge e-commerce growth, Anisa's question is there that we discussed last week. There is going to be huge e-commerce growth. So when huge e-commerce growth is happening, it required a lot of artificial intelligence system to handle it. Okay, and second thing is, huge e-commerce growth will require more financial system, automated system, more blockchain contract awarding systems, so that we have a safe and secured e-commerce platform. Because of existing system limitations, suddenly Amazon is getting huge number of orders, but sometimes. Sorry. Hussain, can you put your mic on mute, please? Hussain, can you please put your mic on?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So this is how the things are there, and patchwork logistics. Patchwork logistics is again the gap filling between wherever there is a potholes are coming in the logistic platform. So that requires to be patched up. So for that, parallel logistic systems are very important to support each other. So that's why the patchwork logistics is, they say that till the time logistic grows in automated fashion, the patchwork logistics has to be work as a redundant system for any gaps which comes in logistics. So that is the idea of patchwork logistics. If Anisa, it's clear to you, thank you. Yes, Chanakya, your hand is raised. What's the point you have?
Yes, sir. Hi.
Hi.
So here, when we talking about reverse logistics, it happens from the customer to the manufacturer. Okay. Sometimes we procure raw material and we convert to the according to the customer requirement. So what we procure raw material is not matching to our quality remarks. Like whatever you ordered in Amazon and you did not like it, so you're reversing that one, returning back. So it comes in reverse logistics.
Yes.
That's my point.
Yes. Yeah, that also comes in reverse logistics. You're right. Anything which travels back, whether it is see what happens actually, why it is the reverse logistics? Because you are seeing Amazon, but actually it's not Amazon. Amazon is an e-commerce platform. When you return a product, you receive this product from the Amazon, this mobile for example, you're giving back, if you did not like, and you are giving back to Amazon, correct? That means it is going back to manufacturer. And it is going back to manufacturer for what? Because of poor quality. It's reverse logistics. Thank you everybody, and if we do not have more questions, we will conclude our session here.